Okay, folks, let's get this straight. I am not your enemy because I have chosen not to take the jab. And you're not my enemy because you have chosen to take the jab. I would like to think, or at least assume, that you have made an informed choice as to taking it. And that's how it should be. It should be a choice. After all, it's a choice to take the influenza vaccine, and flu kills millions still to this day. But there's a worrying trend on social media, Twitter. It's always Twitter, isn't it? The platform of hate. It's where common sense goes to die, and especially among now Z-list celebrities about the unvaccinated, or people who refuse to take the jab. And it's worrying and extreme rhetoric, but it's allowed. You see, it's open season on the unvaccinated, especially in New Zealand, where worrying Marxist trends are taking over everything. You have a worryingly far left-wing extremist Prime Minister in Jacinda Ardern, or Ahern, whatever her name is, one that looks like a horse with teeth. And she has admitted freely, with a smile on her face, that there will be, or there is at least, a two-tier system or two-tier society in New Zealand, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. And doesn't that worry you? It would worry me whether I was jabbed or not. Now, like I said earlier, there's a worrying trend among celebrities on social media and Twitter using extreme language against people who have chosen not to take the vaccine. And the first I'm going to show you is Piers Morgan. We all know who Piers Morgan is. I sometimes agree with the guy. That's why it's so infuriating. Sometimes he says things I think, my God, he can't say stuff like that. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. And some things I agree with. He's like Marmite for me. So this is his latest tweet about the unvaccinated, or people who won't get the jab. Imagine being scared of having a safe, well-regulated 4-second vaccine shot when previous generations braved gunshots for years on end to save us all from tyranny. Anti-vaxxers really are a bunch of spineless pussies. Now, what a thing to say. You could pull apart that argument easy, but I'm going to just say this about it. You see those people that Piers Morgan mentioned, the previous generations who braved gunshots for years on end to save us all from tyranny. They died in order to make the society, or the West, a freedom and democracy place.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Where choices can be made. You are free to say what you want. Medical procedures aren't forced upon you, or you have to give up your freedoms. That's worrying. That's wrong. And if you can't see why that isn't wrong, then I can't help you. And as for being spineless pussies, I know plenty of people who haven't and who've had the jab, and they don't use divisive language like this. They don't care if either or have had or had not the jab. And they're pretty brave people. Former servicemen with medals galore, bravery in Afghanistan, Iraq, Northern Ireland, Bosnia even. And other people, members of Civvy Street who've not taken the jab, but brave people who've put up with a lot of shit and gone through a lot in their lives and still come up on top. Just because they've chosen not to take the jab does not make them spineless pussies. And then we've got Gene Simmons. If you don't know who Gene Simmons is, he was huge with a mediocre, I'd say, rock group called Kiss. Here they are. If I never listened to them, I thought they were shite myself personally. And I mean that, not because he said this, but music, Def Leppard was my thing, not Kiss. Fuck Kiss. This is what he said. He didn't say it on Twitter, but he's been reported as saying this. I don't care about your political beliefs. If you walk among us unvaccinated, you are an enemy. You don't have the right to go through a red light or smoke in a building. I hate this whole delusional, evil idea that you get to do whatever you want because of your rights, and the rest of the world be damned. Now, this is the same Gene Simmons who years before said this. I think celebrities should basically shut their pie holes and do what they do best. Act, sing, tap dance, juggle balls, and do all that kind of stuff. That's another hypocrite for you folks. Gene Simmons is a huge twat of a hypocrite. And as for the evil idea that you get to do what you want because of your so-called rights, I think Gene Simmons would be far better off and happier in some socialist hellhole like North Korea or China or Venezuela, etc. And this is the same Gene Simmons, folks, who admitted to having unprotected sex with nearly 5,000 groupies back in the 80s, and he just called us the enemy. So he literally had sex bareback without any protection, so he says, with thousands of women back in the 80s, back in the day when AIDS was killing people left, right and centre. There was a massive pandemic of HIV and AIDS, and he was just doing this kind of shit. And people haven't taken the jab for a virus that has a very high, and this is a fact folks, a high survival rate. It's just preposterous, isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't take medical advice from a guy who, I don't know, he probably single-handedly created the super gonorrhea in the 70s or 80s. The amount of women he's shagged. I mean, my God. It's like Charlie Sheen coming out and giving advice about condoms and protected sex. These people are idiots. People don't like celebrities now. He should take his own advice and just put on that shitty makeup with that stupid costume and just start making mediocre music for idiots again. That's what I think about Gene Simmons anyway. And Sky News recently ran a story about how fake news and conspiracy theories are popping up because of regards to climate change and the vaccine, and it's all wrong and how divisive and how harmful it is. You have idiots like Piers and Gene Simmons on social media using proper hysterical and extreme rhetoric, against people who are unvaxxed. We have a two-tier system or society in New Zealand already, or it's coming at least. And the conspiracy theorists, well, it looks like they were right. You're just proving these guys right with your rhetoric and your hatred. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, my God, you're offering kids McDonald's meals in order to get the vaccine, unhealthy food. Save your lives by taking this jab, and we'll give you food that can be addictive and can give you diabetes and a heart attack later on in life. Now, I am a anti-vaxxer. I am vaccine hesitant. And the reason being, I have made an informed choice. I don't think the vaccine has anything to do with 5G, aliens, reptilian shapeshifters, turns me into a raging homosexual. I'm joking, I'm not. And all the rest of that conspiracy. I've just seen the data, I've done my research, I've seen the statistics, even on the government's own website. And for me, I'm not ready to take it yet. When it's safe, when it's proper safe, 100% safe, then I'll have it in my body. My body, my choice. Why can't I say that? But these idiots online, on Twitter, not just celebrities, there are quite a lot of left-wing leaning people who are pro-vaccination, and they are also pushing this extremist, divisive and hateful rhetoric as well. And it needs to stop. Otherwise, God knows where this is going to end up. And I just don't want to think about it, really. It really does make me think of a certain time in the last century when a certain demographic were being demonized for being a certain demographic, and we don't go down that route again, do we? But there we go. Anyway, that's my video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Sorry there was no lefty corner. There was no lefties. The lefty corner tree needs to be fed with the blood of lefties in order to grow, and there's been none for me to sacrifice on here, I'm afraid. So if you want to support my channel, then by all means you can buy me a beer. The link's down below. And until the next video, please comment, share, subscribe, and Roger Trout.